Welcome to episode 18 of StripJourney. I'm Morana and coming to you from Copenhagen, Denmark. And this is a podcast about strip dance, all its different flavors, and all the different people that are loving this style as much as I am. Today, we're going to Poland, we're going to Poznan, and I want to welcome today Tatiana.
Hi, hello.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as an introduction?
Sure, that would be my pleasure. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. That's great pleasure, great honor to be here, to be able to speak about strip, about my favorite dance style, as for now, at least. My name is Tatiana Pawlak. Originally, I come from Russia, but for the past 5 years, I have been living in Poland, Poznań. I'm here with my husband, so I dedicated myself to family. But it's actually here in Poland where I found out about the style, frame up strip style, and where I started my career as a dance teacher. So lots of stuff has happened throughout those 5 years, and I hope to tell you about that.
So, a lot of things fell into place, but can we go back? Can you tell us how did you get into dance? What is your dance backstory?
Well, the beginning, I guess, is pretty widespread. This is where most, I guess, of Russian children go to different dance, like after school activities. And this is where I also started my way. It was ballroom dance, and I think I was around 6 years old. I quickly got into it, went to competitions, and I quite liked it. And then I switched to kind of cheerleading thing, I guess, which was also quite fun. I guess I was a teenager back then, and that was the first moment when I really got inspired by the teacher. So this is the moment where I understood how, I was a teenager. I was rebellious in many moments. I didn't want to go to the trainings, many times I wanted to give up. But I guess the teacher was the person who was really motivating me to come back because she was very kind, very giving. So that's how it was. And then I stopped dancing for 10 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, eventually I quit and I rebelled successfully. And I came back to dancing at the age of 25. I was already here in Poland. It was my third month of living here. I didn't really know the language well, and also it was the COVID time,
Mm.
lockdowns, and we couldn't really go out much. And that was the moment when Instagram showed me a random video of Yanis Marshall, most popular high heels teacher of the world, I guess. And I got really fascinated. I had never really seen anything like that before, and I realized, okay, let's try dancing again. I guess it's time. I don't understand the language, but I will definitely understand the moves because body language is universal and international. And indeed, I got really swept away by dance very quickly. And after a couple of years, I was also, as usual, browsing Instagram and saw a lady in those huge shoes, which we all know pretty well. And I was like, okay, wow, what is that? How to find strip classes next to me? But a huge disappointed was waiting for me because neither Poznań nor Poland at that time had strip teachers. So I started my strip journey, strip journey, mm, online, taking online courses, online individual classes, everything that was available. I was doing that. And again, thankfully, it was COVID time, and lots of really good teachers started making online courses. So I guess it was all in my favor, really helping me. Yeah, and
Yeah.
after some time I started teaching, and you know the story, the continuation of it. I ended up
Yeah, I
here.
think, yeah. I think Corona has been quite a catalyst for many of us to get into dancing and to also pick up a dance style that's maybe not available really nearby, or the teachers are not available nearby. So how was it to learn from online?
That's a nice question because at the time I didn't think, is it convenient um, or not? I was just burning with it. I wanted to know all about the style. I wanted to learn the basics. So um, one of the consequences was that I rearranged one of my rooms, one of the rooms in the house that I live in, and it became a dance room. So that's one of the things. So I guess, yeah, if you want it, you will get it. And another important addition is that I started visiting Russia on a regular basis, and it equals that I started visiting offline strip classes more often. And the problem is now that I'm really demotivated to practice here when I'm back in Poznan, practice online, because I think, oh, okay, I can, in a couple of months, I'm going back to Russia, so I can just practice there. But no, I need to practice regularly. So, yeah, now it's the problem to motivate myself to get back to online classes again.
And now you also have your students, so you have to prepare classes and do things. So how did you end up teaching?
That's another story because I have been teaching for the past 9 years, which 2.5 of them are teaching dance, and the rest of them are teaching the English language. And I actually come from a dynasty of teachers. Teaching itself is universal, being there for your students, listening to them, knowing the basics of how people learn stuff is really universal. It really helps me to teach whatever, to teach dance.
So you said there was nobody teaching or nobody. So how, when you said, okay, I'm going to teach, how did that go? How did you get students? How did you, even advertise this?
Oh, that's a nice question. I started straight away from having my own business because I was pretty sure that the format that most dance schools suggest, which is usually 1 hour classes, is not enough, definitely not enough. 1 hour, well, 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes is only my warm up, usually on my dance courses. So from the very beginning, I was pretty straightforward with having mm, like serious courses where people really want to develop their skills. And I was from the very beginning making courses for the people to whom dance isn't just 1 hour of something like a bit of move. For my students, dance is a bit more, is a way of self-exploration, a way of improving themselves, not only as dancers but also as personalities. So I guess that's why I got my first students straight away. I threw Google, or what's that, Facebook ads, Instagram ads,
Mhm.
and it brought my first students straight away.
It's correct what you say about the teacher mentality, right? You already had like the basic there on how to get people interested and how to also take care of them. I mean, I like the 40-minute warm up. Somebody like me definitely needs 40-minute warm ups to get started. So it's really good. But then basically what I also wanted to talk to you about more is like dancing as art and as choreo creation. And I know you've been doing some kind of special courses on that, and it also took you to some competition. So can you tell me more about that?
Okay, finally, straight, straight to the sweetest part.
There we go.
Yeah. So for the past couple of months, I guess 6, 7 months, I have been discovering dance as art. Not only I started doing it for myself as a performer, as a dancer, so presenting my art on stage, but also I have been trying to involve my students in that, in dance as art, in dance as a way to create your story on stage or in the dance hall, doesn't matter. So I guess it all started with my first as a teacher improvisation course. And I realized like it really opened my eyes to what dance really is, to me at least. It was the moment when I realized that dance has to have a story. Dance has to have some content. I don't mean moves, because moves are also content of the dance, but it's the outer side of it. But there also should be some inner side of it. And I started exploring it. I started exploring the layout of dance, so the introduction, the main part, conclusion, and how to evolve it, how to search for the character in your dance, and of course, how to dance yourself, how to find this something that you want to dance out. And my recent experience in Strip Lab, a strip competition, was really a highlight of my experience as for now, experience as a performer.
And kind of, you mentioned Strip Lab. Can you tell a little bit what is Strip Lab and how did you get into it?
Sure. Strip Lab is a project by Juliana Koptseva. She is one of the first strip dancers in Russia, so in the world too. And she created her own project with classes. And 3 years ago, she also started organizing a special competition for dancers. It's not only strip dancers, actually. I visited Strip Lab in November, the whole thing, so I saw that there were also performers on high heels or shoeless performers. So it's actually a platform for all performers who want to share their art. It's a really great thing that Juliana and everything that she does, including the competition, attracts really very creative people mm, who really have something to say on the stage. I am highlighting it because I also last year I also took part in a different competition, pretty renowned one. It is World of Dance. I guess you have heard about it. Yeah, this competition takes place in I guess all countries, but it had a completely different vibe, uh, a bit commercial vibe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Kind of for me, World of Dance is more like a competition, also based on a lot of urban styles. And Strip Lab is not, I mean, yes, competition, but it's also kind of has a showcase feeling
Definitely.
that, you know, you go there to also not just to compete, but you go to watch others, you go to learn. And it's supposed to kind of, again, feed not just the eyes, but as you said, the soul. You're supposed to feel emotions and things. And, I think that's for me the difference.
So yeah, I felt extremely comfortable on stage on Strip Lab. Um, Even the layout of the hall itself, where the judges are sitting on the sofas next to the stage, so they are not even a bit higher. They are just on the same level with you, like occasionally watching TV, but it's not TV, it's you performing in front of them. You know, it was really nice. Yeah, and on World of Dance competition, judges was sitting like very far away from you, and I couldn't actually even see them. I was trying to find them during the my performance, but it felt weird. Yeah, because to me it's important to dance to some for somebody. Yeah, Strip Lab was my first try of add a really sensible and meaningful story to me. I asked for help, actually. I was creating my solo with a mentor. She's also a performer, a dance teacher, a strip teacher. Actually, she is a student of Juliana, but
Mhm.
yeah, I can tell her name, Lisa Mulgausen. If anyone is interested, I really recommend following her and watching her art, because it's really art. She's very artistic, very like she likes adding acting into her dance. And this is why I liked her and asked for help. So she helped me create a character, a story, mm, and really taught me how to submerge yourself um, on stage. Yes, submerge yourself in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm curious how, so this whole experience, how long did it take? How long was your,
Preparation,
preparation? Yeah.
uh, around 1 month. And funny enough, half
Mhm.
of this time was dedicated to. Um, Lisa gave me 2 or 3 lectures on creating dance, on creating a performance, on creating a character, and only after that we started creating the dance itself. Well, actually, I was creating the whole thing. She was just directing me. Yeah. So very, and I also really respect this approach, and I'm continuing using it when um, moving itself while creating dance is a really like it's only half of creating the dance, the performance, and half of the time you dedicate to getting inspired, thinking, planning it out. So it's the approach that is now the closest to me now.
That's interesting. Can you give like an example of, as you said, you had to also not just put the moments, but to put the moments to the story. Can you give a little bit of an example of such a thing? Or
Sure,
even give us a background of the story?
sure, yes, of course. So what do we usually start with? We start with thinking what you want to tell with your dance. Uh, Maybe you have been going through some uh, difficulties in your life, or maybe you saw a movie that inspired you, or maybe a painting, whatever. So, first of all, you should get some starting point, some message that you want to tell with your dance. Um, and then we get straight to details. So, it could be the setting, for example. So, you start thinking about your character and where they are in your dance, in your story. In my story, on the one that I was performing on Strip Club stage, I imagined myself in some hot desert, that I am a lone wanderer. I'm very exhausted and tired. The sun is shining, and if you see if you watch my video of Strip Club performance, you will see that I make move something like that. Like the sun is too hot and it's shining in my eyes, and I'm trying to close myself from it. Um, but yeah, it's already the third stage. This is where you create the dance, and it's basing on the setting. Yeah, so I think, okay, I am in the desert. How do I show it with my body? And this is where
Mm.
the whole magic begins, where you add, you know, we all know the basic moves of strip, yeah, or any other dance style. And of course, I introduce them in my dance too, but I like spice it up with some this story setting thing or character thing. So with the character, I also think what my character wants. There were some like running moves. I was running on my knees, so I was trying to get something, and then I fall down. I literally fall down because I don't succeed in getting what I want in my story. So, uh, all the moves that help you show the story, literally depict the story like in a painting, will go in
Mm.
handy if you want to create a story with your body and dance.
Did you get feedback at the end?
Sure, yes, yes. We had creativity, musicality, visual, and a couple of more criteria. Yeah. Um, Surprisingly enough, I didn't get high points So there were three judges, and two of them didn't give me high points on musicality. So yeah, I thought my dance is very musical, but it seems that I really have some space to grow, and it's really nice that I have somewhere to grow. I also had because of the, again, as I told you at the beginning, the atmosphere was really relaxed. I had the opportunity to come up to the judges and ask about the points, so it was also really nice.
So, would you do it again?
Definitely, yes. Now I plan my trips back to Russia basing on when Strip Lab competition is.
So, does it move around?
Yes, it happens as for now 2 times a year. So around November, December, and there is a summer edition too, end of May, June.
Mhm.
So looking forward to the next performance, really.
Yeah. But if I remember, you also did some kind of workshops before this. Is that like a package? Is that a prerequisite that you first do some specific workshops before you can go and compete, or is it two separate things?
No, definitely not. You don't have to visit Juliana's classes to take part in the performance. So it was two separate events, actually.
Nice. So you talked about this and you talk about like the art and the judging and stuff. Did you when you went to World of Dance, I imagine you didn't go with the same piece. You went with something else. And what kind of feedback did you get there? Like if any?
Sure. We also got those PDF files with all the points. And to be honest, the points on World of Dance weren't as straightforward, as understandable as the points on Strip Lab. So because I also was visiting a World of Dance competition with my friends from Lublin, from different cities of Poland, and we could also take a look at the points together and a bit analyze them. And we found out that all of us have pretty low points, like around 5, 6, and very rarely someone had 8 or 9. I guess it depends on the approaches. So I'm not the one who is gonna be criticizing it. And to be honest, so yeah, statistically, I had higher points at the Strip Lab competition. But again, like, okay, on World of Dance, I had 6, 7. On Strip Lab, I had 8, 9. But like, it doesn't tell me much. What really tells me is what judges say. Because again, in World of Dance, we just got the points. In Strip Lab, we also got the comments, and each judge could give us like personal comments, like, "Oh, work on musicality," or "Wow, nice story." Or, for example, from two judges, I got comment, "Oh, artist, you are a pure artist." So they liked how I was acting in the dance, I guess. So this is the most precious thing, and the points are less significant.
Yeah, true. Because I mean, so World of Dance, I heard all kinds of mixed things from some competitions being really like harsh to street dancers, to like we don't get it harsh, to getting from the same competition, same performance. One judge loves it, one judge hates it. So
Mm-hmm.
like no middle ground. And as far as I know, at World of Dance Poland, at least, there was a lot of strip dancers, right? There was teams, there was
Yeah,
individuals. So it's almost like, okay, so now you've seen a bunch. Are they,
not enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, does it, don't, I mean, do they not see the quality? Do they not, as you said, I don't know what was the division of the sound. I'm sure their musicality doesn't play maybe such a big amount in the points because that's one of the strengths of strip and things. So I don't know. But this is why I ask
Yeah,
people who compete, like, what? So what was the impression? Because it varies super very much.
it's controversial. Yeah, the points of World of Dance.
I guess it's a cool experience. Also, again, you said you haven't been doing this style too long to go to this kind of competition. So now, when you do workshop, are your workshops like a combination also of, as you said, this improvisation exploration techniques, or is it like pure choreo, or how do you do it now? has this influenced you in any way?
Definitely, it has influenced my teaching formats. I have been experimenting with teaching formats a lot, and I'm still doing it because the sphere of dance is also changing. And when 2 years ago people weren't really much interested in improvisation, and it was really hard to push it forward, now it is much, much more on demand, really. So if a year ago I would really not be willing to connect teaching choreography and improvisation, now I would try to come back to it again. But as for now, my courses that are going on right now are divided. Choreography and improvisation, teaching your style, are different. It's just easier for me. When I had this all together, some people come to my dance courses to get choreography. Some people come to get both. So when we finish learning choreography and get down to improvisation, they're like, oh, again, I don't want that. I don't understand those people. Yeah, I understand your face expression, but it's fine.
Yeah. But I agree. I would say like a few years back it was okay to be just a choreo dancer, but these days you have to be able to also improvise and make things and also kind of use it to make choreos. But then I'm curious, so do the same people come to the different flavors of courses
Yeah,
or
yeah, those are different
yeah.
people. And I want to, I hope we also have some time to talk about that. But yeah, I am very delighted to say that 35 plus women are exploring and opening dance to them in Poland. So for the past 2 months, I have been trying to post more content like dedicated to women who want to try themselves in dance, because I would say now it's the best time to do that.
Mm. I would say it's also getting a bit universal. I mean, obviously I'm one of
Yes.
those that started dancing also quite late. And I would say now it's getting more accessible because before if I wanted to come to dance class, if you starting from scratch and you go into a dance class with 20-year-olds, it's intimidating. It's scary, right? I mean, it takes some time and then you can be comfortable, but you need this place where you feel safe. You need this place where you're allowed to be yourself and allowed to do your own thing, which probably improvisation gives you, that you're not needing to follow a formula
Exactly.
that's maybe dictated to you by a person much younger, much more fit than you are. So I can see the why is it attractive, because also there is a certain freedom and there is also certain confidence that comes over a certain age when you're quite okay letting go and not caring what other people think about
Yeah.
you and how you look because you're doing it for yourself and you have nothing to prove either. So my 5 cents, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, you got brilliant ideas, brilliant.
But I do also appreciate the people who have this approach that are inclusive, so to say, right? So you can only also grow if you feel safe.
Yeah, it's a good point that some women start their dance journey with improvisation classes, and then they feel confident, and after that they just can go and explore other styles. Yeah.
What are your next plans?
Dance, dance, dance.
More dance, more teaching?
um, I don't know about more teaching. I'm pretty content with the amount of teaching I have right now. By the way, it was also an exploration process of how much energy I can give to my students, because yeah,
Good
especially
point.
teaching improvisation, teaching people how to feel comfortable in their bodies is really, really energy consuming. You really have to feel the person. So I prefer to give less classes, but of higher standard, higher quality. Yeah. So definitely one of my plans is to develop and spread the improvisation thing. I'm also planning on launching online classes, like Zoom online. It's not going to be recorded, though I might. do some pre-recorded stuff, but a bit later. Now I want to explore the, online when you are in contact with people in a straightforward connection. So yes, and of course this year performing hopefully in Strip Lab Summer Edition
Mm.
and Winter Edition. So yeah, opening myself up as a performer. You know what? I'm not even mm, focusing on strip itself, but on performing and being a person who has something to say on stage. That's what
Mm.
we are discussing today.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really nice. Apart from Strip Lab, any other competitions?
Uh, Not yet, but I'm in active search.
And I just want to go back to one thing for the improvisation that you mentioned. And this, yeah, I understand the energy needed of it. But I was wondering, can you share, like, what kind of words do you use? Can you share one like guided moment that you have when you do improvisation with your groups? People.
Sure, I guess I'm pretty sure you have heard most of them, or maybe not. So, one of the first things that I tell to a person who especially comes for the first time to a dance class is that don't look at others.
Rule number one.
Yes, yes, yes. Look at yourself. I know that some women are scared of looking at themselves in the mirror because a dance class is the time where you are looking at yourself 100% of the time, and some women are scared of it. And I always tell them that it's okay. You don't have to look at yourself if you don't feel comfortable, but give give it a try because looking at yourself in the mirror is also a process of accepting yourself. I would say it might be one of the first steps actually. Okay, next thing is don't expect anything. Just go with the flow. Also sounds pretty banal, but it really helps. Don't have any expectation. Actually, I myself sometimes have to tell it to myself. Yeah, especially when I try new dance styles. Okay, the third idea that I try to teach my students when they come to dance classes is that you are okay, you are enough. I guess it's one of the basic coaching principles, and this is where I learned it from coaching, and I love it. Yes, that you are enough. Accept what you can do and see what you can do, and accept the things that you can't do yet, and decide if you want to change it or not. If you don't want to change it, if you can't do a split, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Okay, only you decide if you want to add it to your library of moves or not. There's absolutely no minimum amount of moves and things that you have to do on a strip dance class or on any dance class. So,
Yeah, that's a good point because I think we all get so obsessed in like I have to do this and this and this to be considered better or to know the base or whatever. But it's actually the magic that we are all very different and we can do different things. And this is where this like unique signature of each person happens, right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, those are all really good points. I think this is something that you almost need to like tape under your mirror when you're training
Yes,
to follow.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. And most important thing, I forgot. I usually tell it to my students on the improvisation classes. I just ask them this question several times during the class, and it is, how are you? How do you feel? Uh, we really tend to forget to ask this question ourselves. I mean, in our everyday life, we forget to ask this question ourselves. And my dance
Mm.
class is the opportunity to ask this question and to try to answer it with your body.
I love this. I love the process. I love that you give people this kind of opportunity. That's very valuable.
Thank you very much, Marona.
Um, Let me ask you some questions that I asked
Sure.
everybody that I have, and this started out of my own curiosity, and I should probably start to make some kind of summaries because there have been quite a few
Yeah.
people. I don't know if it's boots or sandals for you.
Definitely boots. I have never worn sandals.
All right, but speaking of people like Baina and Koptseva, who's your strip icon or like inspiration?
For now, it's definitely it's so hard to choose because I love them both. But it would
Put
be
more?
Juliana.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And knowing that she's a mom is also, giving even more worth to what she's doing.
What's your favorite like either choreo you learned or a project you have joined?
Well, I'm not going to be creative in my answers. The last choreography of Juliana that I learned in November. So, for this choreography, Juliana shows a monologue read by a woman with some very mild meditation sounds at the background and dancing to this kind of track. I cannot call it music. To this kind of track was really magical and also opening my mind. Yeah. You can dance to
Mm.
anything. You can dance to the sound of water or wind. And yeah,
And make it something beautiful and change its meaning and
definitely.
everything. Yeah. How would you describe strip in one word?
The first word that comes to my mind is different. Different,
Mm.
you can explain it in two ways, different from other styles and different inside itself. So it can be sexy, it can be lyrical, it can be sad or happy. Yeah, very versatile style.
And what's your most memorable moment as a teacher, as a dance
Oh,
teacher?
that's a very cute question. Well, there were lots of them, but it's the moment when my students, after the choreography finishes, is the moment when they start to improvise. This is my favorite moment.
So, speaking of your students, is there a fun fact or something you want to share that they don't know about you?
Um, okay, let me think. Some fun fact.
I mean, I've never worn sandals. It's quite a it's
It's
quite a
already,
fact.
yeah, a fact itself, but let me think. Well, I guess, surprisingly enough, very few of my students know that I started dancing strip online, and
Mm.
sometimes it really shocks people. So it's fun fact, and I hope inspiration at the same time.
We talk about different things. Is there any other messages you would like to say to people that are listening?
It is same old story, same old idea that I share all over Instagram and everywhere is dance yourself. It's even written in my name's description. Tatiana, dance yourself, strip Poznań. Yeah, whenever you dance, whatever style you dance, dance yourself. Ask yourself, how I am today? What do I want to dance about? What hurts me, or what makes me laugh, or what makes me love? And go and dance it.
Amazing. But I think it is this kind of messages that we need to remind ourselves that we are not somebody else, that we are not our teachers, that we are not the, strict rules of the style, that the magic happens when you are yourself, basically. Yeah. So that was really nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. And I hope I'll see you around on some next convention or something in person.
Definitely, yeah. I guess it's a nice tradition of meeting on.
Yeah, meeting friends at
Yes,
conventions.
yes, yes, Marana. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.